Hi everybody, it's Chris. Welcome to my channel, Crafting Chris. This is a channel where I like to talk about my cross stitch and to share some of the other crafty type things that I like to do. I do have quite a bit to show you today. I've been busy doing quite a bit of stitching, and I've got a shop update and a fun project that I just made this week that I wanted to share with you. So I think we'll jump in and get started. I think I mentioned in a past video that I kind of adopted Pam from Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph, her idea of having a whip wheel, and I was spinning it once a week on Sundays, and I would work on that project for a week. But I was starting to find that, yeah, I would get like 2 or 3 days in, and I was wanting to stitch on something else. So I thought, I'm going to do it twice a week. So now on Wednesdays and Sundays, I've been spinning the wheel and picking a different project. So that's kind of been fun. I've been getting to work on a lot more projects, and like a lot of people say, you pull it out and you're going, oh, I really like this project. So it's really been fun. So the first one I was just going to show you was one of my, I call it a semi-full coverage, but it's called Behind the Bit. And this is by White Willow Stitching. Oh, sorry, there's a bit of a glare. I'm in a different position today because the lighting's kind of odd. It's a little bit earlier on Sunday morning, and where I normally sit, just there's weird shadows. So I thought I'd try sitting on this way. So this is called Behind the Bit by White Willow Stitching. I'm stitching this on a 18 count oatmeal Aida. And this is where I'm at. I did manage to finish page 2, and now I'm on the second column of page 3. So yeah, I'm still really enjoying stitching this. It's really fun watching it kind of come to life, and I'm really motivated to get down to the next row of pages. I'm going to go right across the top, but I want to get down where we can start to see his face a little bit more. But anyway, so that's Behind the Bit. The next project that I worked on is one of my Christmas stockings. This is a stocking that I'm going to make for my husband. It's called the North Wind stocking. It's a Dimensions Gold kit. This is now my oldest whip that I have. So I've worked on this a couple of times since I saw you last. So you can see it has the tape around the edges, so that kind of just shows you how long ago it was when I started doing this, because like a lot of people say, I don't do that anymore. And yes, there's lots of loose threads because I've kind of worked in different areas. I was getting a little bit tired of doing all the blue, so I decided to try and finish around the owl so that I could backstitch him and he would make more sense. And then I decided to put my husband's name in, and yes, his name is Bev. So I've got that kind of all to go, but all the fun stuff is down on the bottom. Oops, wrong way. All the fun stuff is down on the bottom. Nope, that's that was my back. Don't look at my back. So there's the polar bear down there. Now he doesn't have any back stitching done yet, and that gray blob on his head, that's Santa's hand. So yeah, this is one of those kits that there's cross stitches and half stitches, and so the background does go fairly quickly because it's all just half stitches. So no deadline to get that done, just when I get it done, I get it done. The next one that I worked on is Walk with Dog. It's my other full coverage project. I was going to show you a picture because the one I had printed off, my printer was running out of ink and it wasn't very good, so this will give you a better idea. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I've only started up here in this corner. I'll show you here what I have so far. So that's where I am. So yeah, it might take me a few years or a decade to finish it, but I still enjoy working on it. So, and yeah, like there's lots of colors. Like there's all the colors that are in there. So lots of fun. So the next one that I was working on was my gifts for Santa. This was one of my Christmas in July starts from Madame Chantilly. And this is a really nice project to work on. I really enjoy it. I don't know, I guess maybe I'm somebody that doesn't mind big blocks of color, because then I just find it easier if I'm watching Flosstube or watching a movie or whatever to stitch, and it's not quite so intensive that I have to count, but it's a really cute pattern. And this I'm stitching, oh, I should mention that that walk with dog is just on, again, an 18 count Aida. When it's full coverage, I don't worry so much about that. So this one is on a 32 count Picture This Plus Legacy linen that I purchased at Keepsakes when I was there for StitchCon back in June. So I've got Santa done in his little chair and the first little girl in line, and her gift for Santa is some flowers. So I thought that was pretty cute. So I'm looking forward to stitching more of the kids as we go along. And then the most recent one that I've been working on is another one of these Lizzie Kate, I think they call them Celebrate with Charm. So there's one kind of for each holiday. So this is the Thanksgiving one that I've been working on. And let's see, I need something behind here. So you can see the only thing I really have left is the pie on the stand, and then I'll be done. So I'm going to try and finish that up today. So these are fun, they're really quick stitch. Although I have to admit, I made a boo-boo. I don't know if you can see it. So there's the word, my K. I made the top arm of the K one stitch too short, which I didn't realize, and I don't mind how it looks, but what happened is when I did that bottom square, I was off, and I realized it, and I ripped part of it out thinking I'd fixed it and restitched it and realized I was still off. And at that point I'd stitched 2/3 of the brown in the middle of the square, so I had to rip a bunch of stuff out to get it sorted out. So that made it a little bit longer of a quick stitch. So those are the things that I've been working on since my last video. I do have a couple of finishes since then. So the first one that I finished was another one of the Celebrate with Charm. So this is the St. Patrick's Day. So this is the third one of this series I finished, and I'm working on the fourth one. I forget how many there are in total. But. So there's this little one. I did put the charm on this one. The other ones I haven't put the charms on because I wasn't convinced. I thought it made a big impact on the overall design. But this one I did think it looked cool there on the little cauldron of coins. So that one's finished, and I'm still working out my finishing plan that I have for these. So it's starting to kind of get a little more solidified what I think I'm going to do. And then my other finish was from the Snowflower Diaries, The Joyful World. This was a sale that went on a couple of years ago. So I was working on July, which is these really cute flamingos. I did end up making a color change. I like how this looks, but she stitched it with the Gentle Arts threads, and I don't have Gentle Arts, and I didn't purchase them to do this whole series. So I'm just doing it with DMC, and the DMC conversion for this pink was like almost a purpley pink, and I didn't really like the color, so I had to play around a little bit to find the right combination of pinks, but I actually really like where it ended up. So there they are. the little baby down at the bottom. I think it's really cute. So that's fun. So I don't think I'm quite halfway through this series. I've maybe done 5 months. Anyway, still having fun. So then those were my 2 finishes. And then I actually have a new start, a finish, and an FFO. And it kind of ties into those 2 that I just finished, because in tribute to Pam and Steph, and thank you to Ryan from Wild Violet Cross Stitch, she has a shop on Etsy. Happy finishes, everyone. So that's in celebration to finishing those 2 projects that I just showed you. So I just thought that would be fun. I just stitched this up, put on some foam core, and just put it. This is just a paint stick that I had around, and I just glued some fabric on a piece of cardboard and stuck it on the back. So there we go. I can celebrate my finishes. I don't have a bell, so I had some jingle bells, but I just thought that might be a little too much, so I just stopped with the sign. But anyway, that's in tribute to Pam and Steph, because I love it when you guys do your ring your bell and say happy finishes, everyone. In fact, my whole family knows that routine, that you guys do that, so it's cute. So then that brings me to purchases. I don't have any purchases this month. I haven't bought anything. My plans moving forward, I'm going to continue spinning my wheel, and today is Sunday, so I did spin it today. And the project that came up is Winter Squirrel by the Blue Flower. And this is another one of my Christmas in July starts that I had. These squirrels are just so cute. I really want to do them. I think, is there a 4th one out? This is the only one I own. I really want to do autumn squirrel. I'm not sure about spring. He's wearing overalls. I guess this one's wearing a sweater, so. But I thought I saw a 4th one, but I'll have to look into that. Or if you know, post a comment down below and let me know. But anyway, this guy is just quite adorable. I love his little cart with his Christmas tree with acorns hanging on it, and his little acorns wrapped as gifts. So much fun. And this is also on 32 count Picture This Plus Legacy linen. So I'm almost done the squirrel. So I'll be finishing him up and starting on his little cart once I get there. That's a lot of fun to stitch too. So as far as my stitching goes, I think that was everything that I was going to show you. I did think that maybe I would show you a shop update from my Etsy shop. Thank you to those of you who have made purchases. I really appreciate your support. I have I'm in the process now, starting to make some Christmas bags and just put them up. I usually aim to try and make a couple of bags a week just to keep it low-key and fun. If I try and make a whole bunch of bags at once, it starts to not be fun, and I decided to do it just because I enjoyed making the bags. So I thought I would show you a few things that I have made in the last few weeks. I did make some more of the little, I call them sleeping bag, well I think they're called sleeping bag pouches. I'd made them kind of like notions pouches, but I guess they could be like a pillowcase, or not a pillowcase, a pencil case, or I've even had people say about putting eyeglasses in them, or your cell phone, but you'd have to be careful because of the zipper. But anyway, so this is one I made just with some fabrics that I just had on hand. They open up again, they open up nice and wide, so when they're sitting on the table you can see everything you have, and then when they zip up they make this fun little shape. So I have that one, and then I have this one with this cat pattern that I love. It's like they're peeking out at you. There's all the kitties inside. And then when you zip it up, it looks like that. So those are just some individual pouches that you can buy individually. And then I've started a new thing, kind of, I guess. I call them bundles, where you can purchase a bag, one of the Notions pouches, and then I am making some little fabric covered button needle minders. So usually I make a coordinating needle minder to go with them. So I had 2 Christmas bundles and I've sold one of those, so I just have one left in the shop right now, but I'm going to be putting another one up at the beginning of the week. So this is the bag that goes with that bundle. So it's got the red interior fabric, it's got the vinyl cover, my little sort of signature, I don't know if I can show you, this little doggy button in this icy blue color. There's the fabric at the back, little pixies, and this is the matching Notions pouch with the red on the outside, and then the pixie fabric on the inside, and this is the matching needle minder to go with that. Now, I have a couple of other Christmas bags. It's the same fabrics, just reversed. So again, it has that same red fabric because it's a really nice Christmassy red and goes with a lot of Christmas fabrics. And then the outside fabric is this really fun. I really love these colors, these sort of chocolatey browns and tans and reds and sort of the olivey green colors. Yeah, so those are really cute images. And then this one is the reverse. So that fabric is on the inside. That reindeer is so cute. And the red's on the outside. And then I have made a pouch to go in this bundle. So again, here's the fabric on the outside and the red's on the inside of that. And the needle minder, I don't have it because the glue is still drying on that, but it is needle minder is one of like the buttons that is on the fabric, so it's a fabric button. These are some of the other ones that I've made. I'm not selling them individually right now. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that. I know there's lots of people selling needle minders and they're doing a great job because they have really fun and funky and unique, but for now, I am going to just be including them in the bundles. Unless I get a big demand, if people want them, then I'll maybe have to figure out pricing and packaging and shipping costs and stuff like that. But I haven't done that yet because I didn't feel there was a big demand for it. But one interesting thing or fun thing with my shop is I am actually going to attend a local craft fair at the beginning of December. A friend and I have reserved a table together. She's going to sell some knitted felted items that she makes, and I'm going to sell some of my bags and Notion pouches, and I am going to sell some of my needle minders there. I may sell them as magnets for one price, and then for like $1 more sell them as needle minders, because a lot of people going to the craft fair, if they're not stitchers, they won't have a need for a needle minder or know what a needle minder is, but they might like some of the buttons and to use them as magnets. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So that's kind of it for my shop update. My shop on Etsy, I'll put a link down below, but it's Craft and Chris Creations, all with K's, Kraftn, Kris, Kreations, if you're interested and want to go and check anything out. So the last thing I usually like to do in my videos is show you some other little crafty thing I've done in the past, whether that's the distant past or the recent past. And this item actually is very recent because I just made it this week. I was inspired. I was watching an older video of Danielle Stitcherista, and she had purchased a WIP journal. And I started thinking about that might be something that I might like to do, because right now I am keeping track of some of my projects, usually my larger projects, in the Xstitch app. But I like the idea of physically being able to sort of move pages around, so to speak. So I've done paper crafting in the past. I've done scrapbooking, card making. I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for a while. So I still have a ton of stuff from when I did that. And one of the things I had was like some chipboard packs, and specifically it was to make like a book, or to make books with, type of thing. So that's what I decided to do, was to make my own journal with chipboard. And so here's my journal. I'm just using these little binder rings. And I've just used some pattern scrapbook paper. This is a little bit of cardstock I put at the edge to make it look like a book binding. And then I really like kind of the distressed look, so I've kind of inked all around the edges with some brown craft ink, and the back is just the same. I haven't really decorated the front. Like, I thought about, do I want to stamp, WIP journal? Do I want to put my name on it? Do I want to just use a chipboard letter and put paper on it and put it on, which I may or may not do. Or then I was thinking maybe at some point, someday, maybe I will find the perfect size, perfect subject matter little cross stitch pattern that I might stitch and finish and put on the front. But anyway, so I decided I wanted some different sections. So the top one here is done, so that's for finishes. I had to come up with words that were short so I could fit them on these little tabs that I've made. So behind this tab, I am going to put the pages of projects that I've finished. I don't have any there right now because I didn't think I was going to bother making pages for projects that I've already finished. That didn't seem to make sense to me. But this tab is spare. That's basically just extra pages that I printed off. And I just made a template of what I wanted on those pages on my computer. And I was able to orient it so that I can get 2 pages out of one 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And then I have to cut it down a little bit to get it to fit in here. And then these are like my WIPs that I have going. And then share, as I spin the wheel and a new WIP comes up, I'm going to bring it from here and put it in this section so I remember in my next video that I want to share that with you guys. So so that's kind of how I've been running it. And just to show you the pages. So yeah, so I've just decided I want the pattern name, who the designer is, when I started it, when I finished it, what fabric I'm using, and what threads I'm using. And that way I can keep track of stuff. So yeah, so then now that I've shared these with you guys, I'm going to move them all back into the WIP section and then start filling this first section up again with new projects that I'm working on so that I know what I need to share next time. And then if I finish something, it will go in the done section. And then if I start something new, I have those spare sheets that I'll fill them out and put them in. So yeah, so that seemed kind of fun. So that's my little WIP tracking journal. Anyway, I think that's everything that I have to share for today. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for those of you who have subscribed, for your likes, for your comments. I really appreciate having this platform to share something that I'm passionate about and that I enjoy, and that I'm able to share maybe with other people or show you some things you hadn't thought of or some patterns you hadn't seen before, because I know I certainly appreciate each of you, those of you that make videos that inspire me and introduce me to new techniques and new designers and just new ways to store stuff that we'd like to collect. And even to those of you that don't make videos, again, that you are just as much a part of this community as those that do make videos, because if you weren't watching, there'd be no reason to make them. So again, just thank you, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you again for taking time out of your day to stop by and see what I've been up to. I'll see you next time. Bye.